Dude, Resident Evil 7 was dope. That's the word we're using now, right? Or is it Dude, Resident Evil 7 was lit. No, that can't be right. I don't know. Dude, Resident Evil 7 was foxy. So January is a shitty month for movies. I guess it's a great month for video games because I kind of loved Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is survival horror through and through. Really gets back to the roots of Resident Evil. No more of this third-person action adventure bullshit. Like, really, it's its own self-contained little story that takes place on one house, well, one property, a few buildings. And it really reminded me of Luigi's Mansion more than anything else. It's a first-person exploration. You know, certain areas of the house are locked off, and then you do some stuff, you get some puzzles, you find some keys, and then you continually unlock new sections. So it's like Luigi's Mansion, you know that door in the basement that leads to King Boo that you get access to pretty early, but you don't get the key for it till the end of the game? It's kind of like that. And I really like that vibe. Man, these kids and their drugs, they churn out new words for cool like the Jews did messiahs. This game looks amazing. It's in first person, it runs at a locked 60 frames per second. I think the game actually will sacrifice textures before it sacrifices frames. Digital Foundry did a really good video on that, I'll put it in the description. And you're like, okay, so it's a good looking game, it's in 60 FPS, so what resolution is it running at? 1080p, motherfucker. I am super impressed right now, and I gotta know if the game took any shortcuts, because normally you get 60 FPS, you get 1080p, or you get graphics. It's like pick two. But no, it looks and runs great, the textures are awesome, the resolution quality is all sharp. I mean, outside when you first walk in the house, you know, there's some jaggedy, XY bushes, who gives a shit? When the lighting and the shadows are this incredible, you'll like open a cabinet and look under a lamp, and the lamp will like fly across the cabinet with the shadows, and it looks like the desk under the lamp is really bright and clear, and then over to the left it's all dull and murky. The character model on Mia too, with the ripples in her shirt, her hair looks kind of jiggity jaggedy, but it moves around like realistic hair. This is one of the most immersive games I've ever played. The sound design is phenomenal. The house has got little creaks and cracks and sounds to the point where you recognize the difference between a sound of an enemy coming and the sound of just the house, so it doesn't even freak you out anymore. You're just like, oh, it's just the house saying hi. The music too, I love it when games like in this kind of Victorian-esque setting have like a hub world with like soothing little radio music or something playing. I love that. Reminded me a lot of The Evil Within. The best thing about this game is that there are no jump scares anywhere. You'll round a corner and an enemy will be there, so it'll kind of jump scare yourself, but it's the fact that you did it, and then the music will slowly swell in once an enemy appears on screen to create tension. It won't go BAM! There are a couple jump scares. There's scripted moments where one of the family members will jump out at you, but there's no sound. There's no artificial sound other than the sound of them coming out to get you. Alright, I see what's gonna happen. He's gonna jump out at me when I grab the thing. Alright, I get it. Where is he? Where is he? Is it you? Where is he gonna be? Where is he? Called it. Just because a few scares were predictable doesn't mean the game wasn't still terrifying as shit. Grandma? Nope.
I guess this is it.
Nope. It's actual real horror. And when you're going down the house, you gotta check the corners very, very carefully because there could be a dude. The enemies aren't really zombies. They kind of look like those tree guys from Skyrim that got stuck in the BP oil spill. The art style of the game, too, is fantastic. This Victorian mansion setting is by no means an original place to have a horror game. But just how parts of the house have faded away and they're missing, and with the super crisp high textures and lighting and shadows, and how the black goop is all over the wall, and how throughout the game it spreads during the house, and the colors are really vibrant when you're by a light source and they're really dull and murky when you're in the dark. And the Glock 2, I don't know about you, but I love Glocks. They're like my favorite pistol. They look so sleek and cool, and how the back of it is out of focus and the front is in focus. It makes it look like there's a Glock right there. The game is also almost entirely seamless. There's one really long load screen when you first boot it up, and then it's nothing. It's perfectly seamless. Before I start up a game, the first thing I always do is look at the options and turn off all the stupid shit and like adjust everything how it should be. The options menu is great. You can adjust the camera smoothing, the camera acceleration rate, you can turn off head bob. I think that's primarily because the game was built with PlayStation VR in mind, so that you can make the visual control experience as smooth and not headache-inducing as possible, and I really appreciate that. I've heard people say that the shooting is clunky, and it really isn't at all. The only thing that's clunky is when someone is right up next to you and you gotta like turn around and run away really quickly. You don't move very fast in this game, but the shooting itself forces you to like slow down and aim for a headshot and makes single bullets feel really, really powerful. The only thing I don't like about the shooting is that you can't actually aim down the sights. Holding down left trigger just does this. I would rather the gun just kind of center in the screen. But it's still very precise and bullets go exactly where you aim them. The addition of a guard button was a really good idea too. That thing will save you a lot of health. Okay, look at that smoke. That's insane. There's also no rapid fire. Now, usually you wouldn't use it because, you know, you want to conserve ammo and you want to aim carefully, but there are times where it's like, okay, this is a Glock and I want bullets to go as fast as I pull the trigger. You can't do that, unfortunately. The game does a really good job at keeping it fresh because you'll have, like, scripted campaign sequences when you're not armed and you're just running and hiding, and then it'll give you a gun and it'll let you loose in the house to explore, find keys, kill enemies, and do stuff. And then there'll be, like, a super hardcore puzzle section, and then there'll be lots of enemies to shoot. The game paces itself very, very well. When you encounter the Baker family members, that's the guys with like the white pale skin who capture you at the beginning. They're different from regular enemies. They are bosses. I gotta say, unless it's obvious that you're in a boss fight with them, don't just pump ammo into them because you can't kill them. They're invincible. Use a few shots to get them to pause and get away, and then just run in the next room, and then you're perfectly safe because the AI is retarded. I swear, you'll like walk through a door and they'll be like, "Duh, where'd you get to?" Also, the game has a knife as like a separate weapon, and before you get a gun, that's fine, but once you have a gun, it's like it wants you to switch out to a knife to melee, and I think that's very cumbersome. They should just have a button for meleeing with the knife, because there are like crates around that have ammo or health or ingredients that nearby that you gotta smash to get to them, and to the point where taking out the knife was so annoying, I just shot him and used bullets. The only negative movement and control wise is that the flashlight has a little bit of a delay before it catches up to where you're actually looking, so you'll turn first and then the flashlight will follow. That's kind of annoying. And also the flashlight itself, you don't control. It auto toggles on when you enter a dark area, and it doesn't do that good of a job. Sometimes I'm in a really dark area and I'm like, I can't see. Where's my damn flashlight? The game's biggest missteps are concerning the logic of how things work in this world. Particularly the protagonist, whose acting just kind of sucks. It's like, he'll have a conversation with a cop, and it'll go like this, and you'll be like, you gotta be kidding me. You are both retarded.
And I can't rule out that an outsider like yourself may not be involved.
There's f***ing barbed wire on the windows.
Now, that's more like it. Now, meet me in the garage. We'll talk there.
Hey, wait. You gotta give me your gun.
You must have lost your mind.
Look, officer.
Deputy.
Right. Deputy. Now, do you want to see my name in the obituaries? Or do you want to be a hero and save my life?
That's what you say to convince, like, you should be screaming and yelling at him. It's like, help me, I'm kidnapped, call 911, help. There's also a big problem with, like, you could have left the house, like, 9 times at this point. Any old person could pull off that board, crawl through that window, or jump over this thing, or just punch through the damn drywall or something. And you could say, oh, no, he wants to stay and he wants to find me, in which case I'd say, okay, sure, except the fact that the objective says, get out of the house. So that kind of takes me out of it. There's other stuff like that, too. Like, there's this puzzle with this lamp, and it's like, look at this. Okay, so you got a lamp on one hook. I know one of the family members has a lamp, so obviously once you get that lamp and put it on so that the teeter-totter seesaw thing balances out, and you look, there's like a rope going up to the door handle. Like, you kidding me? Just pull a damn door handle or push down on the thing with the lamp. Lamps aren't that heavy. If you were gonna say, oh, it was some magic kind of ghost thing, then there shouldn't be a pulley system connecting it to the door. And there's a part near the end like this, like, oh, you need corrosive to get through this door, and I'm like, I could climb over these beds, though, to get into this room. At that point, they should have just walled off the room completely. The protagonist is also a very unresourceful person. It's like, grab the bat, grab the axe, grab the damn crowbar, are you blind? So it's times like that where immersion is kind of broken, but like from the game's graphics and the look of it and the feel and the sound of it itself, it's all perfect. The only issues are with logic. Like, how does chem fluid plus gunpowder equal bullets? Where did the brass come from? Whatever. Inventory management was also annoying at times, and I heard people say, oh, that's what survival horror is, that's what you like. I'm like, isn't that what everybody complained about with No Man's Sky? I mean, granted, it's not nearly that bad, but I'm saying, conceptually, and it's not an issue of, oh, I've only got so many spaces, I have to choose carefully what I take with me, because, I mean, really, there's a save box in the next room. The game isn't big enough for that to matter. It's the fact that all my inventory slots are full. My shotgun doesn't have any ammo in it, but there's 4 shotgun shells on the table, and I can't just put them straight into my shotgun. But I gotta say, though, as many little things like that I noticed, most of them were nitpicks, and none of them detracted from the experience enough for me to say, like, this is so dumb. You can ask the people I was playing with, I was constantly going, this is awesome, I love this is fun, this looks amazing, this feels great. Just how the game does survival horror combat, your bullets feel very, very powerful, the sound is amazing, it is a great audio-visual experience, and that is what a game is for the most part. All the revelation stuff near the end, I've heard people say that it took them out of the experience, and it was like, oh, we just have to tie this into the rest of the games, and I completely disagree. I liked it a lot. Thought it was really cool. Especially one conversation that made you feel for the family that's trying to kill you. You're like, oh man, that sucks. And you know, with music near the end of a game or a movie, you know, whenever they're trying to have something somber or sad happen, there's always 2 notes. Arrival did this too. It's always like, me. I would say the game is a little too easy on easy. The primary reason I played it on easy is because I wanted to get this video out as quickly as possible, and I could not afford to get stuck anywhere, and I just needed to get through it. But I would say by the end of easy, I definitely had a lot of ammo, I definitely had a lot of extra stuff. So play it on normal for the real survival tense experience where, like, I might not have enough. I finished the game in 10.5 hours. I gotta say, I don't think it ever outstayed its welcome. The only time I was like, oh, there's more game is one because I expected the game to end right there. And I wanted to finish it and get a video up that day, but I'm like, oh, it's not done yet. But when I came back to it the next day, I was having tons of fun on the final ghost ship level. And the atmosphere was fantastic. It was fun to play. I was never bored. And 2017 is off to a great start. And I am giving Resident Evil 7 Biohazard an 8 out of 10. And I would play the shit out of a sequel. I think the first game I reviewed in 2017 is better than every single other game from last year.